Michael stood in front of the mirror, adjusted his cap for the 5th time, and still felt like something was wrong. Tonight was not just any Owambe. Tonight was his ex-girlfriend's traditional wedding, and she was marrying his former best friend. He wasn't going there to cause trouble. He was going there to walk in, look like $1 million, and let his outfit do all the talking. But the senator he was wearing? It was the same style he wore 3 years ago. Nothing new, nothing sharp, nothing that said, I moved on and I upgraded. Before we go in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Fashion Style Home drops new videos every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Now let's get into it. Michael had exactly 6 days before the wedding. 6 days to figure out how to walk into that hall and make sure nobody, not his ex, not her new husband, not even her aunties who used to call him our son-in-law, would look at him with pity. He needed a plan. And in Lagos, when you need a fashion plan, you don't call friend. You call Daniel. He just smiled and said, sit down. Let me show you what 2026 is wearing. Daniel pulled out the first design. A senator set in deep charcoal gray, but with a twist. The fabric itself had a subtle woven texture, almost invisible unless the light hit it right. This is what we call quiet luxury, Daniel said. No heavy embroidery. No loud stones. The fabric does the talking. Michael frowned. That's it? No design on it. Daniel laughed. That's the design, my brother. Next, Daniel brought out a navy blue senator with a contrasting cream collar and cuffs. This one, Daniel said, is for the man who wants to be remembered. You walk into that hall, 10 men will be wearing plain navy. You'll be the only one with this detail. Michael held it up. This is bold. Not loud bold, Daniel corrected. Smart bold. There's a difference. Loud bold is when you're screaming for attention. Smart bold is when attention finds you. Michael sat back and rubbed his chin. Daniel, all of this is fine, but I need something extra. Something that makes her look twice. Something that makes her new husband adjust his tie nervously. Daniel finally looked up from the machine, raised an eyebrow, and said, so this is not about fashion. This is about revenge. Michael opened his mouth to deny it, then closed it. It's about closure. Daniel burst out laughing so hard he had to hold the table. Closure that requires a new senator design? Okay, God, when you're doing your own closure. Daniel wiped his eyes and pulled out the showstopper. A flowing Agbada in deep emerald green with gold trim along the edges, wide enough to move like water when Michael walked. This, Daniel said, is not for sitting quietly in a corner. This is for entering a room. Michael slipped it on and immediately stood taller. You see how it moves? Daniel said, when you walk, it flows behind you like a cape. The 5th design was subtle but clever, a full monochrome outfit in soft gray, but with 3 different textures layered together. The inner top, the outer Agbada, and the cap all in slightly different shades and fabrics of the same color. This is for the diaspora guys, Daniel said. Your people who live in London, in America. They love this monochrome style because it looks expensive in photos and it doesn't need too much ironing after long flights. Michael nodded slowly. This is actually clean. Clean is underrated, Daniel said. Not everybody needs color. Some men just need to look correct. The tonal monochrome trend has been massive with diaspora clients this year. Practical for travel, striking in photographs, and effortlessly elegant. For the final design, Daniel brought out something different. A classic black senator, but with wide, structured sleeves that had a subtle embroidered pattern only visible when the arms moved. This one, Daniel said, is for confidence. When you raise your hand to greet somebody, or when you're dancing, the sleeve reveals the embroidery. It's a surprise. People only see it when you move. Michael tried it on and threw his arms up jokingly, doing a mock dance move. The pattern flashed under the light. Daniel nodded approvingly. There it is. That's the one. 6 days later, Michael walked into the wedding hall in the emerald green flowing Agbada with gold trim, cap tilted just slightly, moving like he owned the room. Heads turned. Phones came out. An auntie grabbed his hand and said, Michael, you're shining today. Oh. He found his seat, greeted a few old friends, and when his ex walked past with her new husband, she paused, just for a second, and smiled. Michael smiled back, calm and unbothered, and turned to continue his conversation. He didn't need drama. He didn't need a scene. The Agbada had already said everything he needed to say. And that, my people, is a real power of senator wearing 2026. It's not just clothing, it's a statement. Whether it's the quiet luxury of the textured minimalist look, the boldness of the contrast collar, or the show-stopping flow of the double-tone Agbada, the right design doesn't just dress you. It speaks for you before you even open your mouth. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to Fashion Style Home, and drop a comment telling me which of these 6 designs was your favorite. And if you've ever worn an outfit that gave you Michael-level confidence, tell me that story too. I want to hear it. See you in the next video. Stay sharp, stay cultured.